Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to the Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons. But don't you fret, we're gonna find out what those reasons are, so you can improve your skill. Hone it like a blade ready in its sheath for battle. This demo comes from Duck Avenger, which is an awesome name. He's a Gold Nova Master. That's here. So, about the average skilled player in matchmaking. Keep in mind, this series is to help improve skill. So insulting this individual for his rank or mocking his performance in this demo really doesn't make sense. So keep your non-constructive comments to yourself. It takes great courage, self-confidence, and a commitment to getting better to send in a demo for thousands of people to see and analyze. Oh no, what a noob! Let's go back and figure out what happened there. Okay, so I've slowed the demo down to a 4th speed. Terrorists are just gonna full-on rush into B. That smoke is a good smoke, but it's not gonna help. I'm gonna set my seal_crosshair style to 2. As you see, I just did previously. This is my second take on this. Good flashbang to try to prevent these terrorists from pushing in, but they fully push in once they breach the site like this. Duck Avenger misses his chance to shoot those guys through the smoke. So mistake number 1 is allowing these guys to get into the site. Mistake number 2 is his shooting. So as you see, when the crosshair looks like a normal crosshair, that's when you should shoot. That's when it's accurate. When it's like up and all crazy like that, it's inaccurate. Now this failure to shoot inside is very important to recognize here. Because as you can see, his shooting is not missing because of his sidestep shooting. He's actually timing it right. What he's not timing right is his shots, is his crosshair placement. As he moves it across, he nearly every single time overshoots his opponent. He goes past him and then shoots, even though they're accurate shots. Here, of course, reloading, he's going to die because he didn't kill that player. Another place he could have rotated, there's nowhere else he could have rotated, he was just dead. Now, this is probably a recurring problem for this player because he shoots like this throughout this demo, so it's definitely something he needs to work on. It wasn't just a one-time fluke. May want to think about lowering his sensitivity as well. To train this, you need to slow down. Duck Avenger is trying to go too fast for his own good, and he's not at the level where he can move that fast. He's going back and forth like this, and it's just not working out for him because his aiming is not up to par with his movement. You need to synchronize your left and right hands when you're trying to shoot this way, and he most definitely is out of sync. First, try coming to a complete stop, absolute complete stop, and just pure aiming for that headshot. That's it, and then just tap it. Take your time and only fire when you know it's going to be a headshot. When you get that down, it's going to take a lot of practice. You can move up to adding some movement into it. But again, go slowly to make sure your movement is in sync with your aim. Alright, now, because he's moving back and forth, he needs to compensate his aim by moving his mouse in the opposite direction. So if I have my crosshair on the enemy's head and I strafe right to avoid his fire, I have to move my crosshair to the left. He's doing it, and he's overcompensating. He's absolutely overcompensating. So if he moves to the right like this, he'll move back and go a little bit past the opponent. He needs to go directly on him and then stop. He also seems to be getting the up and down a little bit wrong in terms of the spray pattern, but that's a whole different story. Let's just focus on this for now. Yes, so this could be an indication of a lack of practice, a lack of training, but as I said before, it could also be that the player uses a higher sensitivity. So as you can see, this is one mouse pad for me. It's a little bit over a 180, but I have a very large mouse pad. So you need to be able to, with your sensitivity, make it as low as possible so you can do very precise movements. This is my normal crosshair, so I'm not going to be able to shoot anything. But also be able to flip a perfect 180 whenever you need to, very quickly. Alright, so this player has some very specific questions relating to specific rounds, but none of them actually happened. He's like, round 5 where I have the AWP. He never used AWP the whole game. Round 15 where I used auto sniper. He didn't use an auto sniper. So I think he sent the wrong demo, but we're going to take one of his questions and actually look at it. He was asking about when to rotate, when he should stay here and help his friends or when he should rotate. So at this point, one guy gets picked. They see bomb at long. He is staying at B. It's a good idea to leave a player at B, but when bomb is sighted, you should start to rotate. Now, All 3 players have been sighted. He's still chilling over here, spraying through smokes. He's flashing in. All 3 of the terrorists have been sighted. Should get some proper communication. He should be able to see that on his radar as well. So he should have rotated by now. So yeah, he does that quite frequently as well. It might just be a whole team communication thing, where players on his team should be saying, hey, you should rotate, all 3 sighted. Don't just stay at B. But of course, there are situations where you should just stay at B. If you think there's going to be a lurk pushing through there. Lurk isn't going to be in B, though. He's going to be over at mid. The other thing is if they think the bomb is going to rotate back and go back to B. So one strategy that the terrorists can do is when they're bringing that bomb over here at long and it is shown, CTs, they could say, oh, bomb's here, let's all rotate. So they're going to rotate everyone over to A to watch it. Maybe leave a player mid to have this vantage point just in case they try to rotate back. Terrorists could leave one guy inside of tunnels. He could move in and take bomb site B because the CTs have rotated out of there. Then they have taken bomb site B because CTs have rotated over here. They could rotate the bomb back from long all the way across, and because they've already secured B, they can plant at B. So it all depends on what's going on. It's why it requires a great deal of communication between the teammates. So that's something that may have been lacking here because it is matchmaking. I don't know if this is a pre-made team or anything. I don't think it's a pre-made team. He didn't say it was, and he probably would have. But he said my friends, so I'm assuming these guys are his friends. But yeah, communication is big. They should have called it. They should have said, we all 3 have been spotted. There were only 3 left. And at that point, he should have fully rotated. And where he was inside of B, he could have rotated right here. The player who's playing mid could have rotated here. And then he could have watched the cross. So he's still able to watch this location if they decide to rotate back. And he can watch them as they cross. So we talked a lot about what not to do. That's no fun. Let's get in owl vision. Big thanks to Duck Avenger for sending in this demo, for being brave enough to show his failures to the world to try and improve. That is the mark of a true gentleman. Thank you folks very much for watching. I am the War Owl, and I still have no closer.